Appreciate you being here. A couple of announcements. Ladies, gentlemen, let's get started. So birthday Friday is going to be the last Friday of the month, just like usual. So it's the 29th at the main office and starting at noon. So I believe we are having Italian.
Yes, we are.
So we're having Italian this month. So come on in, enjoy, come meet some of our vendors that are going to be there. It's your time to actually interact with our other agents. The office will be closed July 4th. Yes, it's in the middle of the week, but it's going to be closed. Nobody else is open, so we're going to be closed as well. If you need to gain access, you have your key card. If you don't have a key card, please see Jerome. Okay? One final reminder, July sales meeting. We will not have a July sales meeting. So if you plan on coming up here, you can. We're just not going to be here to meet you with coffee and donuts and everything else like that. All right? Any questions? All right, we have two guest speakers that are our own. So we have two of our agents that have stepped out and they're doing certain items to help you become a better agent and help you try to put more money in your pocket. The first person that's going to talk today is Frank Finelli. He's going to talk to you about ebrokermatch.com. Frank Finelli.
Thank you. Anybody has one of these? You guys want to pass one around? Sorry. So big thanks to Dell for letting me do this because I know he's not here. I think that was on purpose.
No, that's what he's not having.
So you guys, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to chat about this today. For the last 30 plus years, one of my big strengths in the companies that I had built and whatnot, we were always really strong in relocation. And when I came to RE/MAX, one of the things that I noticed was that there were a lot of agents who were saying, hey, I don't know an agent in Anchorage, Alaska. I don't know an agent in Schertz, Texas, things like that. And obviously in a lot of really remote areas and that kind of thing. And you know, of course, that's potential income. There was a class that I took and it said referral and relocation income, the realtor's forgotten income. And that is so true because a lot of people, a lot of realtors don't think of referrals as a significant part of their business. What's interesting, I did a little research and there's an agent, a RE/MAX agent in Arkansas who in 2017 made $380,000 GCI on referrals. Never wrote a deal, and you know, her focus was, you know, I'm going to work my database not only in the community that I'm working, I'm going to work my database in areas that all my clients are going to, places that I've lived in the past and that kind of thing. And that coming from Colorado, being a broker there for over 30 years, I kind of did the same thing. I said, how do I keep that business going there, even though I don't have any boots on the ground personally? And so the referral part of it became a big deal for me. And I realized that it started working because when I first moved down here, I was sending Dell. A lot of you guys know that Dell and I knew each other. We went to college together, and so I was sending Dell a lot of my business. And he was the one who basically said, Frank, I appreciate all the referral business, but you're giving away significant income by just referring everything out. And that gave me a chance to really kind of figure out, get my feet wet here and see what I wanted to do here after being a broker for 33 years in Colorado. So anyway, out of that, I realized that the RE/MAX referral network is excellent. It's a great resource, and it's a great source of income for outgoing clients as well as ingoing clients. But the one thing I noticed is that there was really no significant program, and people had to almost kind of do all the work themselves, and which is kind of difficult. And I know that because a number of referrals that I've placed for our agents here, I've done an interview process. I've had to interview several agents to make a good match. Hi, Dallas.
Hi, good morning. She's
Welcome
turned
on the
into an
agent track for the
agent.
first time. That's awesome.
She's turned into an agent. She's late.
So anyway, that's when we developed, this program first came out, we test marketed it, and I test marketed it with with RE/MAX Fine Properties as ArizonaAgentMatch.com. What we found is that we were getting a lot of our agents who were coming in and saying, hey Frank, do you know somebody in San Diego? Do you know anybody in Washington? And we figured that we needed to rebrand it more as an international and global relocation program, and that's why we came up with the name ebrokermatch.com. It's relevant, it's new, it shows that it's all online and that kind of thing, and it's been really well received so far. We haven't even rolled it out yet. In fact, I don't know if Kelly's going to be here, Kelly Hennessy, but Kelly's a perfect example. Kelly called me up and she said, Frank, she goes, I've got somebody who's going to Bend, Oregon. I don't know anybody in Bend. And neither did I, by the way. And so I said, tell me a little bit about the client. And she said, well, they live in this particular golf subdivision and that kind of thing. Well, I knew that she just couldn't pick up the phone and just talk to any RE/MAX agent and just go, hey, we have a referral coming your way. I realized this was probably an upper end client, and I did some research on that particular golf course community that he was in, that Kelly's client was in. And I found a specialist in that golf course community. We sent the referral, and the guy called us up and he said, hey, thanks, great referral. It's 4.2 million
Nice.
is what his house. So just to put that in perspective, you guys, if that closes, it's not listed yet, but if that closes, Kelly's going to get a check for almost $32,000 for making one phone call.
Beautiful.
She's not going to do any paperwork. She's not going to have to list. She doesn't have marketing expenses and that kind of thing. So that's why this is a great resource. We wanted to try to keep it in office for people who are just going, I'd love to place a referral. I just really don't have the time to do it. I don't have the time to follow up. This is really interesting. There's a NAR statistic out that says that 70% of all referrals that are placed broker to broker do not close with the referring broker. And the reason for that is just basically lack of follow-up. Sometimes you forget. I even see every once in a while, I'll see Matthew send out an email and it'll say, hey, was somebody expecting a check from so-and-so? Come see me. A lot of times that's because people will send a referral and they're like, oh crap, I forgot that I sent that referral. We did one for, I don't know, is Leslie McDonald here? Oh, hi Leslie. I did one for Scott and Leslie, and Scott had a family member in Schertz, Texas. I thought maybe Jamie owned the town, but I'd never heard of it. And really neither had Scott. And so I got online, I did the research, I located the RE/MAX offices most close to Schertz, and I picked up the phone, I started calling around, and there were 3 or 4 agents who said, yeah, I'll take the referral. But I said, but do you work in Schertz? Well, we work outside of Schertz. I said, no, I need somebody who works in Schertz because this is a listing referral. And we got the one person who happened to be a specialist in Schertz, which is a very small town. And thank goodness that we were following up on that, because we found out that the gal that we gave it to actually she left and opened another RE/MAX office, did not tell us. And so Scott and I discovered that, and then we were able to talk to the broker and say, you do know that we sent that referral? And he said, gosh, I didn't know that, I'm glad you told me. And he sent us a check, and Leslie and Scott got a check from that.
Actually, it was all Frank, so Frank, thank you.
Well, thank you. Leslie, just real quick, can you testimony for that, to give them an idea of how that works?
Numbers, and if you want a trusted source, and the process is very easy. We just told Frank exactly the situation. He connected with our client, and it was smooth and right. When that little issue happened with the agent, the brokerage changing, I didn't do a thing, nor did Scott. Frank did everything. So
Well, thank you.
What you did.
You did your part too, and thank God that we had an e-broker match referral agreement with that broker, because I was able to say, let me forward you this broker referral form, and he had no question about it. He said, nope, you're getting a check. It had already closed. They cut a check after closing to make sure that you guys were paid. So really, that's all it's about, and I'll continue to Facebook blast it on just to kind of remind you guys. If you can see one of the things that I put out, I just did a little agent income scenario for you guys, and basically, if y'all sent just two referrals a month on the average of $350,000, which is not that much, you can increase your GCI by almost $63,000. And I know it works because the first year that I had left Colorado, I made $147,000 in referral income. And I was just blown away because even though I was doing about 29 million when I was when I had my business in Colorado, I think my referral income was about $5,000 to $10,000 a year. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just missing out on this great opportunity. The other thing I talked to Dell and Greg about was maybe doing a class on how to generate referrals and relocation referrals and that kind of thing, because if it's at the top of your mind, it's amazing how many times we've, as realtors, hear somebody going, oh yeah, my cousin's going to be putting their house on the market in Maryland. And you're going, oh great, that's great. But you don't realize, well, where are they going? Do they have a realtor in Maryland? And one of the referrals that we have, what's great, is right now we have $4.2 million in pending referrals from this office. Hopefully those will all close. We have, I think, 3 under contract already where realtors have called and said we're already under contract. And I'll follow up to make sure that those checks come in. And the best thing about it is most of the times when you do a broker-to-broker referral, you get 25%, you'll still get 25%. So what we're doing is we're charging the agent we refer to, we're charging them a processing fee. I've only had one agent in Casa Grande who denied it and said, no, I'm not going to pay a referral fee, which was crazy. We went to our backup broker, and oddly enough, 2 weeks later, we had another agent asking for a Casa Grande referral. We gave it to that other agent. So one agent said no because they didn't want to pay a referral fee, and another agent got 2 deals because of that. So
What do you charge the other?
we charge them 35%, and then the e-broker match takes 10%. Which is not very much. I mean, it averages out to be several $100s in referrals, so it's not much. And then the majority of the referral goes to you, so you guys can get your full 25%. If anybody has ever dealt with Cartus Serva or USAA Movers Advantage, you all know that those referrals are like 42% now. And so when you call a realtor and say, I've got a corporate scrubbed referral for you, and the referral fee is 35%, most of them are just going, yeah, bring it on. So they're really happy about that. But anyway, so thanks you guys. I don't want to take any more of your time, and if you have any questions, pop into my office. Our goal is to be able to, you can pass those around, whatever's left. Our goal is to be able to, I'd love to be able to get it to the point where I can hire a full-time staff person. I do have a retired relocation counselor who used to be with Berkshire Hathaway that's been calling me, asking me when the company would be ready to have a full-time relocation counselor, and it'd be wonderful to be able to build the business enough to where we can have that.
Good job.
So thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions for Frank? Or no? All right, perfect. If you do, you know where his office is there, or come ask us. We'll definitely put you in the right direction. So Shannon Pugliotta is also one of our agents. She's starting a new business called Open to Close. Kind of gives you a little different background on open houses to all the way to the closing of escrow. So Shannon, you're up.
Okay, yeah. I think I've met a lot of you in here, but I'm Shannon Pugliotta. I've been a realtor here in Arizona for over 12 years, and I have held many, many open houses. So I came up with this concept because it wasn't available yet. We didn't have like an open house platform. We didn't have one in Arizona, and we actually don't even have one nationally, where we can our consumers can just go to an open house site and find open houses and be able to find them, map them, save their notes on them, go back, refer to them. So that's pretty much how I came up with this platform. I also found that there was a big problem with the fact that an open house is an event, and that right now our leads, when we put an open house on the MLS right now, it feeds to all the major websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, and if you are not a premier agent, your open house leads are now going to other agents, and nobody's showing up for your open houses. So our website is designed, it's going to have every single open house on the MLS, but you can also manually enter in an open house if you do not want it to be advertised on the other websites, and that's probably where we're going to eventually be. All the open houses are going to be branded exclusively to you, the agent. You can now assign an open house agent, which can be the direct contact for the open house, which we've actually never been able to do online. We can also now post information about the open house. There's a direct messaging link where the open house agent will be able to get a direct message from the consumer via gate code information, directions, time changes. We're now going to be able to hold a coming soon, a pre-MLS open house, which we've never been able to do. And again, all the leads are going to you. The listing agent will be represented on the website. The open house event will be below. If they want information on the open house, it goes to the open house agent. And you can assign that the minute you post it on your website or on your inter-brokerage website. So one of the things that's also great, which a lot of brokerages, I haven't found any in Arizona that have it, we have an inter-brokerage connection. So every single house you have on the market, you can actually go in when you create an account. You can say, I'm going to hold this house open. I need somebody to hold it open. You can actually post it as available. Another agent will be able to go on the website, see all the available open houses and say, I want to hold that one. All they have to do is hit accept. They're immediately connected to you, the agent that has the house on the market, and that they are now assigned as the open house agent. So it's really, really streamlined. It's very simple, very quick. You can do everything from your phone, and you can run your website as well. And let's see what else we're going to be able to do. You can now also hold RSVP only and appointment only open houses. You could actually hold an appointment only open house every single day if you wanted to, so everybody looking for open houses would be able to make an appointment with you at any time on that particular day. You can also hold RSVP only, which is great if you're in a guard gated neighborhood and you want to know who's coming in the gate. I don't know how many of you were at the meeting a couple months ago when SAR came in to talk, and she was saying why we are holding open houses and not requiring every single person who comes in to check in and know everybody coming in is kind of crazy in our day and age. So you can actually now make people sign in prior to even attending the event. If it's a higher end listing, you have a lot of control. In guard gated neighborhoods, I have a lot of agents that hold open houses in DC Ranch Country Club. Our guard gate is they're not the easiest to actually deal with. So now you can actually give all the RSVPs to the guard gate. They will be then able to show them exactly how to get to the house. Right now, when somebody comes in to a guard gate and they want directions to the open house, the guard gates usually will not give them directions. So they just make them find them. Then you have to find the signs. And this is a really easy website for consumers as well, because they're going to be able to have a direct messaging connection with the actual agent now that has a house on the market. So it's a super easy platform. It's going to be great. Remax Remax Fine Properties is going to be actually beta testing it for us for the whole month of July. So everybody in this office will be getting a membership for 90 days for free. You guys will be able to get all of your consumers on the platform if you want. Another thing that we have added, which was also needed, is you can now assign your buyer to you on the platform. So if they attend an open house, like an RSVP open house, an RSVP only or an appointment only, or they check in at an open house, that agent will now know that you are representing them. And it will go kind of both ways. So now we'll be able to send our buyers out to see open houses without worrying about another agent saying, oh, well, they didn't mention you as an agent. Well, they did, because when they checked in, it says that I'm their agent. And that goes along the lines of so many things. Like I've gone to a lot of these open house seminars by Tom Ferry and all these real estate, promoters and consultants, and they all say what sells an open house is a crowd. You want people in there because the actual buyer is going to come in, but the buyer usually isn't the majority of the people coming in. But if nobody's in the house, when they get there, it's kind of awkward. Like you just go, okay, nobody's here, I have a plate of cookies, nobody's there. So, but if you have a crowd of people coming in, even if they're just coming in because you're having cookies or you're having, wine and cheese or whatever, it becomes a little bit more comfortable for everybody because now they're like, oh, there's a lot of people in here. It must be kind of a cool event. And right now we're not really getting that because a lot of our leads are going away before they even get to the open house. So it's creating a little bit more of a buzz and a more enjoyable, just having more people come in the door, essentially. Let's see, what else? We also have an instant way now for you to get feedback for your seller. So every single person who comes in, when they check in, they can either download the mobile app or they can go on the mobile website. The minute that they leave, they'll get a ping notification asking them to give us instant feedback. It's a super easy survey, either thumbs up, thumbs down, what you like, what you didn't like. Add additional notes. You don't have to add notes. And then at the end of the open house, you can literally hit send, and every single person who came to the open house, all the feedback you can send immediately to your seller within minutes. So they're not calling you saying, how did it go? And you're trying to pick up your signs and all that. So, and I'm trying to think, it's got a lot of really cool things. Our company is paying, this is going to be a national platform eventually. We are launching in Arizona for the first 90 days. But then we are going to go national really quickly because there isn't anything nationally yet. And because of that, we are spending a lot of money on consumer marketing. We are spending all of our money getting all the consumers to the platform. So if you have an open house on there, you will get open house traffic. So we are going to be spending a lot of money getting all the consumers to find it, go to the platform, use it, sign into your open houses, and you can actually take all the open house leads as well. You can export them directly into a CSV and directly into your CRM as well. It will have what house they came in on, how much the house was, what their feedback was on the house, whether or not they liked it or not, and you'll have that entire report at the end of an open house now. So it's pretty cool. Anybody have any questions?
So what is it, like a website? Open
It's a website. It's called Open. Yeah, it's a website, and it's also a mobile app. So the mobile app will also be available for our beta test. So the mobile app is going to ping. There's so many different things it's going to do. It's just great. But the mobile app. So any consumer that has a mobile app downloaded, and they have saved a search, the minute an open house goes on the platform, that consumer is going to get a ping notification on their phone. There's an open house now in your neighborhood. Here's how to get there, or click on how to get there, or click for more information, or whatever. And it is it's a mobile app and a website.
It's set up to feed through the MLS.
Yes, every single open house in the MLS is going to be on the website. Mm-hmm. So if it is on the MLS, that's fine. You can also manually create an event. So when you create an account, every house you have on the market is going to show up in your account. You can create an event from there, or you can go in the MLS and create an open house from the MLS, and that is going to pull in as well. So
what's the name of it?
OpenToClose.com.
What if you have a coming
It's supposed to be
soon-
up there, but it's gone. So go
What if you
ahead.
have a coming soon listing that's not an MLS?
Yep.
Does it have the function to?
Yes, you can manually upload any house that is not in the MLS, as long as it's not, and even if it is in the, how do I say this? So a coming soon, a pre-MLS house, you can manually enter in any house you want to have an open house for, as long as you're a realtor. There are no for sale by owners, because we have to actually protect our relationship with the MLS. But when you do that, you can enter that in and have an open house as long as you want on our website until it goes into the MLS. Then it will automatically feed that listing into your account. Then you can hold another open house, but it will no longer be able to be called a coming soon. We really want our coming soon pre-MLS houses to be coming soon. They're on the MLS and they're not really coming soon. And I know that the MLS now has coming soon listing options, I guess, so you can put on 2 weeks early. I just saw that somewhere. So if it pulls in from the MLS and it says it's a coming soon from the MLS, that's fine too. But ours is going to allow you to not have it on the MLS, which is great, which means if you want to do a preview open house, which is fantastic for market research. I mean, I've had so many times, which is how I came up with this again, where I have had a client say, I want to hold an open house on Saturday, I want my house on the market on Friday, I want you to hold an open house on Saturday. We're out of town, and I'm like, I don't have any pictures yet, and I'm the agent where I would never want to put a house on the market without any pictures. So I'm like, well, how am I going to hold an open house other than to put signs out, because it's not on the MLS yet, and now we can actually do that. We can actually put a coming soon property as an open house on our site, get people in the door, put your signs out, and then also get market feedback prior to it going on the market. If everybody comes in and you have 10 groups come in and they all say the backyard is horrible, then prior to putting it on the market, maybe we should do something to the backyard. So it really helps days on market to be able to do that. So
That's nice.
yeah, go ahead.
So what are going to be the costs for the program?
It's only $39.99 a month, and you get all your own leads. And we aren't going to sell any leads to any other agent that's not a member.
Okay, so if you don't join and your listings in the MLS and it's in an open house.
Yep. It will go on there as an open house, but you won't get any of the benefits of any direct messaging from the consumer. So if you have an open house in the MLS and you're not a member, you are going to be on the site. They are going to be able to find you, but they're not going to be able to communicate with you directly.
But you're not giving those leads out to paying members?
No.
Okay.
No, we just aren't going to have any contact info. What's great about our site is when they hit the site, it's going to have the agent's picture, their name, their phone number, and brokerage all right there. If they are not a member, it will have their name and brokerage, but it won't have any contact info for them. And it won't have any of the functionality of it. We have some cool events you can hold. We also made something kind of cute that's kind of different than these other sites, is you can now put if you're having something, we have these little icons. If you're having cookies, you can put cookies. If you're having cheese and beverages, can't say wine, you can put that on there. If you're having a food truck, we have food trucks wanting to partner with us and literally drive around to open houses for an hour and stay at open houses for an hour and attract people that way. It's kind of cool. So we have all these icons now, and you can also put information about your open house. The hardest thing right now is if you put an open house on the MLS, you can't put anything. You can't put the open house agent. You can't say, contact me for gate code. You can't put anything about your open house. You can't even say, I don't know, anything kind of personal about the house that you. We now have an area where you can say anything you want. For information or gate code information, contact the agent, and you click a button, it instant message them, and you can message them right back. So when they're at the gate, they can literally hit that button, it'll message you, you can text them a gate code, and now you've actually captured their information completely too. And as a consumer, they have to validate their email address. And in order to text you, they have to have a valid phone number. So it's pretty cool to actually get real contact info. So we actually did a national consumer survey nationally, and we got 800 responses back out of thousands of people interviewed. And the one thing that they wanted in open houses was they wanted a more relaxed environment. They didn't want to go in and have somebody following them from room to room, trying to get their contact info. And so now we can capture that ahead of time by having them register online, check in ahead of time. We have their email address and their phone number. Come on in. I already know you're checked in. When they get there, it automatically checks them in, and then you're good. And then after, you can actually you can interact with them a little bit more relaxed, in a more relaxed environment. And then when they leave, you already have their contact info. So the husband's not sitting there talking to you, and you're like, hey, can I get your email address? And the wife's like, no, you need mine. She's like, I don't want to give him a real one, And you just go, okay, well, that's fine. But they're already checked in online, so it's already there, so you're not asking him anything. You're like, okay, I'll follow up with you later. Let me know what you think about it. So it'll text you with an instant, feedback. If you wouldn't mind, filling it out, it'd be great. So it's pretty cool. And it's going to be a lot easier to find open houses. So on our consumer survey as well, they wanted more signage and they wanted to be able to find them. It was a major thing. Like 56% of all these consumers said they can't find them, that they're driving around and the signage isn't good enough. And to have a consumer in Gilbert trying to find open houses in Scottsdale, driving around and looking at signs is not really how they want to be. Going around on an entire afternoon on Saturday when it's 100 degrees. It'd be great to know, oh, here's one in our price range. Let's ask about when it's open, and we'll save it in our search. When we get there, there's a little car icon, it drives them right to the house. So you don't even need 15 signs anymore if you need to. Because I know in DC Ranch Country Club, I used to hold open houses in there. There were 8 turns to the house, and I couldn't have anything except, DC Ranch signs in the gate. So that was $75 every time I wanted to hold an open house because I needed 9 signs, So it was like, this is ridiculous. And there were all these other open houses too, so they were like directional signage everywhere. So, yeah.
Does the system recognize when someone puts in a fake email or phone number?
Yes, because they have to actually validate their email before they can actually save any information on the mobile app or on the website. They can look at houses, look at open houses all they want. They can't do any of the functionality as a consumer without creating an account. It's like all these other sites. If you go to Trulia, you can't do anything if you don't have an account. If you go to Zillow, you got to enter in all your information. And now they're asking you 100 other questions like how long you're going to be buying, all this other stuff. And now, if you wanted to send out a CR or an email to your entire CRM and say, hey, download this new mobile app, it's open houses, you can go look at open houses. You can now even send your client open houses and say, hey, if you're in the area today, go in and check this house out. And you're going to be now attached to that client on the website. So if they check in to that open house via the mobile app or the website, it's going to show that you're attached to them, and their contact info will not show up to that agent. It will just be like a name. That's it. A first name only.
Any
So it's
last
pretty cool.
questions?
Anybody else?
Awesome.
So it's going to launch the end of June for our office. And another office, it's going to be us and North & Co., our 2 brokers that are beta testing it. So I'll be sending out an email to everybody with a promo code that you'll be able to enter up, create an account, and then, get all your consumers on it if you want. And if you have any questions as well, my contact will be on all the email addresses and stuff.
Thanks.
Okay?
Anybody's know whose phone this is?
Probably.
I'll keep it.
I was going to send the referral online.
I'll send you a referral. All right, so just like we've done in the past few months, we are noticing that there is a lack of inventory out there for single-family dwellings. So we've been trying to get some of our builders in the area to come in and give us some information. So today we have Dawn with KB Homes Arizona. She's going to come in, give a little bit of information for you, and if you have any questions, she'll be glad to answer them. And then she also has a little handout for you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dawn Roland. I'm with KB Home. I've been with them for the last 8.5 years. We currently have a shortage of inventory, I'm hearing from all the agents that are coming into my community, which is Rancho Paloma, over on Rancho Paloma and Cave Creek. So we offer 5 different floor plans, single level at 1527 square feet, and then 4 2-stories ranging from 1944 square feet all the way up to 2367 square feet. Good thing is right now we have 12 homes that are either complete, 8 of which are complete, and 4 under construction. So we've got some move-in ready homes priced anywhere from the mid-350s to the mid-380s. So, brand new home, great construction, great energy efficiency. Find that a lot of buyers right now are looking for value, great location, all single family detached homes, but on more of a low maintenance, lock and lead type lifestyle. So close to a lot of, good things, kind of away from the city a little bit, but again, brand new construction, quick move in so that you're not having to wait, to build something with some great selections. We are also offering our agents special promotion through the end of August. Any home that you sell, the first home you sell will be at the traditional 3% commission. If you sell a second home in that time frame, it'll be a 4% commission, and then it graduates to a 5% commission. Any sales happening between now and August 31st. Any questions that anyone has on the community or the product?
Is there a community, what are your community amenities?
So our community is has 70 home sites altogether. It's more of a tranquil community outside of the busy city, but close to amenities. We've got barbecue ramadas, nice landscaping, but it is going to be more of a single family detached, kind of more of a quiet boutique type community. We do partner with Platinum Pools. So we do have the option to do on certain of our plans, spas, schools, in the yards.
What are the lot sizes?
Anywhere from 2,500 to just over 4,000 square feet. So it is more of a small, lock and leave type of property. There are going to be, every plan is every lot is already predetermined for what plan can sit on it. So you're going to get a little more yard as you go to a 2-story based on the footprint of the house. Yeah.
What is the HOA a month there?
So HOA is going to be $85 a month. They're going to maintain, of course, all of the common area landscaping as well as the front yards. So the homeowners are only going to be responsible for what's behind their gate.
How much open space?
How much open?
Open space, common
So
area.
there's quite a bit of open space in there. So we've got, it's going to be your typical desert landscape that we have there. A nice barbecue ramada, 2 different cul-de-sacs. So there's one entrance in and out of the community, a cul-de-sac at either end of the community. And then we did leave for you guys a box on it for each of you that's got a list of all of our properties that are currently available. Thank you, Rudy. Vanna, and then we also have here for you just a flyer that talks about the 3, 4, and 5% graduated commission. There's some pens, clips, KB home bag in there, and we're really trying to get some of our realtors. I think a lot of people aren't aware that we're there. It's a really great product. They are, we have some competition coming in across the street that's going to be attached product, but it's going to be more expensive than what we are, to start with a much higher HOA. So it is a really good value for the area.
Dawn, do you mind if I add a couple things? My name's Rudy. I work for Dawn. A couple of questions that I thought were really, really good. What size are the lots? I'll tell you what, this is a villa product that I'm very bullish on. It's a product that I would live in. I really love it. The lot size means nothing in this community, so please don't let that keep you from coming out and taking a look at the product or bringing a client out. That is probably one of the most important features of this particular community is there's no maintenance. It's very, very little maintenance. The villa product offers a lot of what Dawn just spoke about, lock and leave, or even just, we have all types of families living in our villa product for a lot of really good reasons. The price point is awesome. We have inventory. Really, we want you to just come out and take a look. Come out with an open mind, a clear mind, a full heart, and we'll buy you a cup of coffee. We'll talk a little bit about what is important to you and your client, and see if we can't marry that up. We love the idea of coming down here. Greg, thank you very much for allowing us a few minutes to share with you what we have to offer. But I can't, impress upon you enough that you need to get to our community. Dawn and Karen represent the community for KB. They do a wonderful job in making sure that your client is treated like gold. We'll roll out the red carpet for you. We're going to pay you well. By the way, if you sell 2 homes a year at her community, you're going to make nearly $300,000. If you sell 2 a month for a year. I'm going to transfer my license when I leave. But if you sell two homes at Dawn's community every month, you'll make $300,000. So I've learned a lot this morning, and I appreciate your speakers. I love the referral and the idea of the open and close. What a great tools that you're offering. We happen to have inventory that we're offering and quality homes that are designed for your clients. I think you're going to love it. If you take the time to come out, we'll make it worth your while. In the box, as Dawn said, there's a lot of really cool information. I encourage you to take 2 if there's an extra one for a buddy back at the office. Dawn was going to do all the speaking, but I have a hard time not talking.
So what are your office hours? Because I know some have like Monday mornings where they have nothing but meetings, so they're open.
That's a great question.
So what are the office
I
hours?
run the sales meetings, and anybody that wants to make a sale doesn't have to come to the sales meeting. So literally, Dawn, when would you be at the sales office to write a contract?
Anytime you need me to be in the office.
We're open 10 to 6, but you know, that's just published.
Yeah.
So as long as we give you a heads up, hey, I have somebody that can be out there at 8 a.m. Is there any way you can meet me early?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there have been
Absolutely.
days that, you know, I'm off and someone calls and can't meet till 7 p.m. There have been days that people need to come in at 7 a.m. I mean, we're very accommodating. We have the option now to do, you know, things via DocuSign, like I'm sure all of you guys do if necessary. Out-of-state buyers, we're able to accommodate all of that. I know a lot of agents do come in, and a lot of you know, buyers come in and say, what is the lot size? And then they're amazed when they look at how much they can do with the space that we have, that it really doesn't matter. We have a lot of people that are really looking to downsize. They're tired of maintaining the pool and the yard and all of that. So it's really a great option for people that don't want to spend their time or money every weekend working on their yard any longer.
2 questions. Is it, so I don't think you said there's not a community pool, correct?
There is not a community.
And then do any of them have like balconies, like with a view?
On the second floor?
On the second floor?
We do not have any with balconies, but we do have lots of mountain views
Mountain
and
views,
city
okay.
views from the second floor.
Okay.
We have one more question.
What was the price point?
So the price point of the homes that we currently have that are completed homes with all the options in them are mid 350s to mid 380s. And then when we have some new builds, they will start in the high 320s.
Are these all available
Those
currently?
are all available. So 8 of them are finished, with the exception I have 2 of them that you can still select flooring, and then 4 are under construction with the latest deliveries happening in November.
Thank you so much, Don. Thanks, Rudy.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
So I know most of you know that Sandy Carpin was out of town this weekend and he was doing some running. So he actually came in 11th in his category.
He's only 10 runners.
He fell down, they had to push him in a wheelbarrow, but that's another story. But the good thing is this is actually a family thing because his son actually ran his very first marathon and came in 2nd in his category and 12th overall out of about 800 runners. So Sandy's doing something right over.
Yeah, right. You've been to Manitoba, Canada, anybody? Anybody been to Manitoba? No. What do you think of it? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. All right. Thank you. All right, just to get some housekeeping items out of the way. We have a bunch of new agents that joined us since we were here last. Laura Workman, are you here?
I did not see Laura.
Robin Beck, you're here. Stand up. Tell us about yourself. Come on. Say something.
He has a brand new grandbaby.
Say something.
A little boy. He's precious.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, you're going to pull
Where are you
that
from
card?
originally?
Oh, I was born and raised in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. That's why she's so good. Welcome aboard.
And I've been here since 1982. I've been in this industry since this past January.
And she's already sold $1 million worth of homes. Kid you not. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. She's already sold several $1 million worth of property.
And he
So.
will tell you that it's a miracle because I have no idea how to work a computer.
As long as you know how to write a contract, that's all that matters.
Right? Getting better at that.
And Robin is going to be doing our Regal American products with us. And we're very excited to have her.
So welcome aboard.
Anything else?
That's good.
That was good.
Tina, you here? Tina Dudek? Tina's not here. I didn't see her. Tracy Randolph, I didn't see you.
Yep, you're here.
Oh, you are here. Oh, there you go. Stand up.
She even had questions.
I had a question. Hi, I'm Tracy. Been realtor since '06. Joined Heidi's team. I'm so excited. So,
Awesome.
20.
Welcome
I was
aboard.
born in Long Island.
Long Island, what part? That's okay. Too much time to think of. And Claire and Ryan, are you guys here?
No, they're in.
At Flagstaff. So, all right, couple of just housekeeping things. How many people know that ADRE moved? They have a new location, new building. So if you have to go down there for whatever reason, it's not on 44th Street and I think it was Thomas.
Yeah.
It's no longer there. I think they're downtown now. I'll send you out an email just so you'll have the address. Most of the communications with them is usually through email and electronically, but just know they're no longer 44th Street. Melissa Gasper, congratulations. Rookie of the Year, Scottsdale Home Magazine. Well done.
Thank you for all the votes.
Yes. All right, listen, guys. There's two issues I really want to talk about, and I might take a few more minutes than I'm allocated, so I apologize. I want to talk about armless, and I want to talk about procuring cars, two completely separate situations. There's a problem, in my opinion, going on with armless and with our industry. There's a lot of anger out there, and there's a lot of people being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not deceitful. Shitty. I'll just say it. So you heard the story about a year and a half ago with Bill Fuchs when he got permission from the seller to use a lockbox. And he didn't get permission from the agent because according to the listing it was showing time. He didn't use showing time because the owner said it was okay. He used a lockbox. The listing agent got mad, reported Bill, $500 fine. Kathy got a fine for $500. In addition to that, because when she put the key back in the lockbox hours later, didn't get permission. They fought it, they lost, or they got partial reduction. There's just a lot of anger out there. We have an agent, I'm just going to use the word she because at this point he or she asked not to use their name. She was fined 9 times for not using showing time. That was a $4,500 fine. And we went down and fought it. And I'm going to tell you, what's the word you used? It's bullshit. I've got to tell you, and I hope people see it, there's just a lot of vindictiveness out there in the industry. So let me tell you what happened. She used the lockbox supposedly 9 times without permission using showing time, right?
Because she was under contract?
Nope. So here's what happened. So she texted the listing agent and said, can I show your house at 1234 Main Street? Agent said yes. Didn't use showing time, used a vacant house, used a lockbox. They liked the house. They came back about 2 hours later while they were looking at the houses, used a lockbox. Next day, they want to go back, text her again, can I show your house? Yes. Didn't use showing time. And this went on and on and on. After 3 times, they were under contract. And then she texted the agent, said, we're going to do a home inspection. I'm going to meet the appraiser. We're going to go in for measurements. Each time she got permission on a text. I don't know what went wrong. This deal closed in December. In March, 3 months later, the listing agent filed a complaint with Armless that this person used a lockbox 9 times. She was fined $4,500. So we fought it. As crazy as this sounds, we fought it. And I'm going to tell you, there's a flaw in the system. And here's the flaw. Tell me how many, when you do a listing, how many different ways are there? Showing instructions, right?
Yeah,
how many different boxes can we check?
20.
There's 18 boxes, okay? For those that have been in the industry maybe 15 years or longer, this vacant lockbox, what does that mean? Go and show, right? I mean, that was pretty standard. So now it says vacant lockbox, occupant. What does that mean? Vacant lockbox, use showing time. Well, what takes priority? What takes precedence? How about notify lister? Okay, so I text you, I notified you, it doesn't say permission required because there's another box that says permission required, right? So I notified you, Bonnie, but you didn't respond back, so I assumed it's okay. How about notify lister, occupied? What does that mean? I mean, so this is what we fought. And I'll tell you, there was 5 cases the same day, all for the same reason. 5 different people. And I'll tell you what's even more disconcerting. The person that filed a claim against us, or our agent, we try to appeal to them, to talk to them. They had 0 response. They send us an email. We're done. We're not talking to you. This is your problem now, not mine. That's number 1. Number two. I'll tell you her name. Her name was I don't want to get it wrong, but she was with a mom and pop shop in Gilbert. And the broker was no help either. Number 2, this is really bad. This is really, and I sit on the rules committee of Armless, and I fight this a lot. The person that registered the complaint was not required to be at the hearing. So when you wanted to question the person, you couldn't even question anybody.
That's terrible.
It's wrong all around, okay? Hold on a second. It's wrong all around. The good news is they reduced the fine to $1,000 for whatever reason, but it's still $1,000 way too much. So here's the point I'm making. Follow the instructions. Just cover yourself, follow the instructions. I will defend you guys every time, and I'll fight this every time, but I'm just telling you there's a lot of meanness, vindictiveness shittiness.
Shitty.
But it's happening. It's happening out there. You need to follow instructions, and if it's vague, then you need to call. Whatever you need to do, just cover yourself, because there's just a lot of meanness out there.
Well, and I've had it where I educate the other agent because a lot of agents don't understand what a lot of those things mean. So it'll say vacant on lockbox, but notify lister. So they'll ask me, well, why are you calling me? It's vacant on lockbox. And I said, well, then you need to remove notify lister. That's why I'm calling you, because you can get fined. And a lot of agents don't know that you can get fined for using the lockbox.
And don't listen to if you guys are on the real estate agent forum, just
Right.
don't take that to heart. It doesn't listen,
No.
if it says showing time and people say, why is it showing time? It's vacant, it's locked. That's not for us as buyer's side to question why. Our
want
job
the
is to
statistics.
follow the instructions.
They want the
It could be statistics, it could be an alarm on
They
the
can send
system,
it to their
it could be
owner.
somebody
They're
staying there
lazy.
temporarily. There's a whole bunch of reasons. Our job is not to question why they're asking and why the instructions. Our job is just to follow the instructions. Find.
But a text.
So that $4,500, did that, I mean, does the listing agent get a portion of that?
No,
Like,
it all
what
goes
is
to Armless, and here's what Armless will tell you.
What is it?
Who cares?
Armless will tell you they're not doing it for a moneymaker. I don't know, maybe. Last year they claimed about $40,000 of income from fines. To me, that's a little bit of a
So now
moneymaker.
they're
But-
listing, is that what's going
I hear
on?
correctly that they closed the house in December and they didn't lodge this complaint until March?
Correct.
That's a flaw.
Because there's meanness out there, and this agent will tell you, it was a good transaction. There was no ambiguity, there was no animosity, there was no fighting. It was a pretty good transaction.
Why would they just throw it out? I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's wrong on so many different levels. It's wrong.
So, are you saying that if the listing agent gives you permission to show, and you have not used Showtime, even though it's in the list of, Showtime, text, what, if he gives you permission, or she gives you permission, that's not good enough?
Well, that's what they're telling us. I'm not saying that.
But
That's what they're
But they
saying.
got fined, even though she was given permission.
Correct. I know. And the question is, what takes priority? Use showing time, notify lister, vacant lockbox. I mean, you see them all. What takes priority? It's just wrong. I will tell you that I sit on the rules committee, and I'm fighting this. I'm just trying to get clarity because it's just wrong on so many different levels.
Board explain the justification. They make money all the time.
I'm sorry?
The board issued justification for reducing the fine from 4,500 to.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Good question,
What
Brian.
did they say about it?
Because my argument was, we can't even, you're a lawyer, we can't face our accuser. Is that like every victim has the right to face their accuser? I mean, we can't even ask questions. We had text messages, we had written documentation. So what they do is they have a stand-in that acts as the complainant, some guy. So we said to him, and obviously, he can't answer the questions. So we said, what's your response when we had all this permission and so on? And he says, at the end, he said, well, I would recommend to the board that they reduce the fine by 80%. And I said, as much as we appreciate the 80%, why not just go 100%? Where did the 80% come from? And this was his answer.
Armless has a contract with Showtime.
I just
make a lot of
heed the
money.
warning, guys. It's just out there.
Is it overriding?
Well, that's what I said. I said the same thing. Who decided that showing time is the king? There's no
They did.
answer.
Armless did.
There's no answer for this.
They're not making money from me.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Those 18 boxes, I always thought that those were options. They're not options, they're all.
Well, showing instructions is a requirement. Right.
So if they check a box, it's required.
I guess. Listen, I'm an agent too, guys. I had the same thing. I showed a house one time. I thought I called the agent. I didn't. It was a vacant house. We went in. It turned out the agent was the next door neighbor. It was just right after Bill's situation. It was the next door neighbor, and he came down wanting to know who showed the house. There was no permission given. I couldn't apologize enough, and I realized I made a mistake. We're human. We make mistakes. I just didn't want to get fined $500.
Yeah.
So just heed the warning. That's all I'm saying is just be mindful of when you're showing houses what the instructions are. It's just bad.
Okay, so recently I had a thing happen where I was going to show houses, and then when I called the agent to say that it was, I didn't get a confirmation from you, he said, let me check my spam. Like, why is some of the showing time going to spam?
Depends on their email.
So is that their email that's?
Could be. I don't know. I don't
So
have
then
an
if you
answer.
get them on the phone and they find it in spam, make sure they can.
I don't have an answer. To me, showing time is just getting authorization to use the lockbox.
So if it says
call, text, use showing time, we have to do all three.
I wish I could answer the question. I don't know the answer. Guys, I just want you to be mindful of when you're showing how. Hold on.
Guys, ladies, gentlemen.
I just want you to be mindful. I just want you to be mindful when you're showing houses what's out there. There's a lot of mean people. There's none of those people in this room or in this company, but there are a lot of mean vindictiveness out there. I just want you to be cautious. All right, my time is running short. The other issue I want to talk about, I'll just take 2 minutes. We're not going to solve the problem. We're not going to solve the problem. There's another thing going on with procuring cars, okay? We all know procuring cars, who started a chain of events, that's an unbroken chain that led to a sale. We all know what the words are. Nobody exactly knows what it means, and every case that you think that you have a procuring cause or we go against somebody for procuring cause changes. Every scenario is different. So here's a couple of things to keep in mind. In it by itself, an open house, just by an open house, that you're doing an open house and a buyer walks in, that in it by itself is not procuring cause. It just doesn't work. The buyer says, I don't have an agent. Okay, so now you do correspondence, you met with them, they come back to the open house, maybe even give them comps a day or two later, and they come back 3 days later and they buy the house with another agent. Maybe, probably not procuring cause. It's not a clear-cut, definitive answer. We've defended and went against procuring cause probably about 6 times since I've been broker. We've defended everyone that came against us, and we won every case that we went against. Okay, but it's difficult. They're not clear-cut, and some of you in this room know that I won't. It's just not worth going to mediation or arbitration because you don't have a case. It's never clear-cut. There's always a story. There's a twist. There's a turn. If you think you have a procuring cause, we'll always talk. We'll always chat. You may not like my answer, but I'll tell you straight out how it works. And if you decide we want to go to mediation, then we'll do it. It's just never clear-cut. And I think the competition out there with procuring cause is just like this thing with the lockbox. There's just a lot of meanness out there in the industry today. So just be mindful.
That's why you win them all.
Well, it's not that we win them all. I think we just took good notes and we watched our P's and Q's a little bit. But procuring cause, if you think you have a case, come talk to me and we'll talk about it.
We have other questions.
Yes.
I have a quick comment on that. Again, Dawn Roland with KB Home. We're very mindful of our agents. When people come in, one of the first questions I ask them is, are you working with an agent? And if they say yes, I get the agent's name and phone number, and as soon as they leave, I make a call. Okay, your client was in here, they let me know that you are working with them. Please come to the office within 48 hours and register your client.
Just like I said, when you talk about this unbroken chain of event, does that mean 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months? We can make a case that 3 months is not an unbroken chain of event, depending upon the circumstance. And you could also make a case that 1 hour is a big broken chain of events. Every twist and turn, and remember, whatever story you have, there's going to be exactly the opposite end. They were my buyer. And by the way, who said something before about representation? Representation does not constitute compensation. Right. Two completely separate things. You can be represented, but not necessarily be guaranteed compensation. Two separate issues. So again, just be mindful is my point. And if you think you have a procuring cause issue, I'm more than happy to chat with you.
And just real quick, when you say representation does not guarantee compensation, you have an employment agreement with that buyer.
It's different.
That's different.
That's different.
So I sat 12 years on the arbitration
Right.
committee as well for NAR, and the first question we'd always ask to somebody bringing in a procuring cause case is, do you have an employment agreement? If they said yes, usually they're going to get compensated, whether it's from the other realtor or from the buyer. If they don't,
they won't get compensated based on procuring cause. Wait, if the buyer-broker agreement has nothing to do with the listing agent or whoever that buyer's agent was. That's a service. It's like a listing agreement in reverse. It's a services contract. So if we had a case, Shree's not here. We had a case where somebody went after us for it was like $18,000 commission, and they wanted our money. We had nothing to do with the buyer. We didn't even know the buyer, but they had a buyer-broker agreement. So the question was, well, that's what you have an agreement for. That's what the whole form came into play. Go after the buyer, and they decided to go after the agent. But one had nothing. They didn't have a procuring cause issue, but they are separate. But that protects. That's why we have it. That's why that form came into being for those that have been in the business long enough. Buyers or liars? How many do open houses? And what's the first question we ask? Watch this. I'm sorry, Greg. The first question we should always ask when a buyer walks in is what? What do most of them say?
Yes.
No. Or whatever. If they say yes, take it for a grain of salt, because half of them just don't want to talk to you. It's like going to Nordstrom's. Can I help you? No. What do we say? I'm just looking. But until you need something. If they say no, well, they may be lying too, but you just have to just progress it as it goes. And keep good notes. That's the thing that we won these cases. Keep good notes at a good timeline. All right, my time is up.
All right, thank you, Sandy. All right, comes to that time where we say thank you to all of our vendors. We're going to start off with Julie over here. Stand up, give us a little something what you got going on, and then we'll go all the way around.
Julie LaRaza, Stewart Title. I have a quick presentation tomorrow afternoon at 2 for video business cards. If anybody's interested, let me know and I'll save you a seat.
Good morning, Mary with Fidelity National Home Warranty. The question I get asked more than anything else is how much is your copay? It's $75. Here's the question of the day.
Hi, Allie Jennings with AGF Engineering and Inspections. I know we've talked about this before with our increase in requests for radon testing. Because of the buyers who have been asking and wanting us to continue to do more of that, we did order some more continuous radon monitors, so we are able to keep up with that. So any questions, just give us a call. And happy to
Are
help.
you Sharon and Paul's daughter?
I am. I am the head, yes.
Oh.
Thank you.
Chicago.
She's the A in the...
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Jill, Chicago Title. Holly Wilson, back from maternity leave. We have an Instagram branding class. It's not really a class, it's kind of a small group on Thursday morning. So if anybody is looking to dive a little deeper on Instagram and find out how you can kind of maximize that, let one of us know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Rebecca Niesink with Allstate Insurance. I've got 2 Allstate agencies. My tip of the day is something you probably never think about, but that little plastic piece that goes from the ice maker in the back of your fridge to your wall. I am having my 3rd water loss this year, tens of thousands of dollars, replacing flooring, drywall, all of that, because that little piece gets kinked and you go out of town. It always happens when you go out of town. And it floods everything. So I was talking to a plumber. It costs a few bucks to have somebody come out and switch that into copper for you. So tip of the day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Deanne Martin with AZ Realty Media. We are doing a staging class tomorrow at SAR in the venue. Stop by. It's great. We teach you how to do soft staging and also full staging of your homes. We also have virtual staging. We're running a special for July, 10% off all of our drone videos. So give it a shot. It really enhances your property and your agent.
Hi everybody, I'm Bethany with CNN Mortgage. We just released a shop and lock program. So if you have any buyers that are looking to lock in a rate prior to actually getting a contract on a property, we have that available to them since rates are going up. So if you have any questions on that program, let me know.
Thanks. Ben.
Ben Tobias, Fairway Mortgage. Thank you all for your valued partnerships. Some neat things we're doing with some agents recently is just customer appreciation parties. We love doing something extra with you guys as a partner, as a business partner with you. So if you guys want to do something extra like that, we'd be happy to sit down, help you guys plan some type of event so you can kind of get back to your clients, and hopefully we can kind of share that 2-way road with you guys. We did a fun event for golf last month, had a lot of success. We didn't really fully blast it out to the office because we wanted to see how it would go the first time around. If you guys want to get involved with the next one, we're trying to plan a new one, just little 9 holes and wine afterwards. It's a lot of fun. A little hot right now, but it's quick. But yeah, it goes quickly with 9 holes, and hopefully it'll be as successful as the last time. But thanks again.
Sure.
Tara Carter, Over Public Home Protection. First of all, thank you very much for those of you who send business my way. I appreciate it more than you know. I have a class coming up June 21st. It's all about the art of referrals. Turn 1 referral into 3. It's Thursday, June 21st from 9 to 10:30. So if you're interested, let me know.
Good morning, Jason Cullen with Fidelity National Title. On behalf of Jen Weller and Troy Peterson, we are hosting a CE class tomorrow at our Pinnacle office. It's 3 hours of disclosure with the ABRE, utilizing mobile technologies for realtors. So please feel free to join us tomorrow. If you haven't already RSVP'd, stop by and see one of us, and we'd be happy to get you.
What time is it?
That's from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jason. I'm Jason with Home Point Financial. We've been a marketing partner with you guys for about 7-8 months now, so I've had the opportunity to work with several of you. So I just wanted to say thank you for the referrals, and more importantly, thank you for the trust to give you your buyers to us. So thank you so much. And for the agents that haven't had the opportunity to work with Home Point yet, feel free to stop by anytime, any questions, and find out if there's anything that we can do for you that maybe you're not being represented by other opportunities. So thank you so much for having us.
All right. Thank you. All right, so just a quick reminder, no July sales meeting. Birthday Friday, the last Friday of this month, is on the 29th. And there was one more that I can't remember, but I already told that already. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Go out and get them.